Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely day so far. It is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. How about it? And we are going to be talking some horror movie news here, guys. Nothing like super major or anything like that, but we got some fun stuff with the Scary Movie 6 popcorn bucket. We've got some reteaming of an actor and a director that did a great job last time out, so I'm super excited for that. We've got some radio silence news. Those guys just won't go away, and even though I'm not the biggest fan ever of everything they've done, I mean, we kind of got to talk about this sort of stuff because a lot of people love them, and they're doing quite a bit. So other than that, we've got some Resident Evil stuff, new image from Evil Dead Burn, so we can kind of hop around and get into all of that, guys. I just want to let you know, well, I guess not even really let you know, I just thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's amazing. I know I've been going live a lot lately, guys, but you all have been absolutely incredible. I just want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell. That way, when I drop a live stream at like 5 p.m. and I'm about to go live at 6:30, you know, you guys get a notification and all that. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so very much for checking out the replay. Of course, hit the like. Think about hyping the stream if you really dig what we do here. And really, guys, the best thing you can do is share the channel. Let somebody you know that who's into horror, or just somebody that's in kind of your, you know, maybe friend circle somewhere else on YouTube, bring them on over. Just give me a chance. That's all I'm saying. You guys are amazing. I know I don't really have to say that, but I do anyways. I'm going to jump in, say what's up to y'all, and then we will get going. And I guess before I really get humming on this, guys, I just want to let you know, we do have a super chat goal going as well. It's not required or anything like that. If we get 5 super chats of $5 or more, we'll go for a second hour. So I'll just jump in. We'll take care of the news. If you guys still want to hang out, do a Q&A, or just talk about this stuff at greater length or anything like that, that's how we can get that. Even though it wasn't working yesterday, you guys did reach the super chat goal. For whatever reason, YouTube just wasn't counting them. But we certainly reached that goal. So you are going to get a bonus stream this weekend. So we've already unlocked that. So I'm just going to say what's up to you guys, and we'll get going on the news. Let's see here. I think I just have to clear my throat. 1 second, guys. I think that did it. I think I noticed I breathed in a couple times and I'm like, ooh, I can feel a little rattle. I gotta clear that out, you know? Can't be having the Davey Deathray voice, you know, getting a bad reputation all of a sudden. We got Mr. Prince hanging out with his Ed Sheeran picture. This guy is obsession with Ed Sheeran. What's happening? Talking about, oh, so yeah, if you guys have seen The Mummy, you know at the end of the movie, you know how that goes. Should the next movie be called The Duddy? I think it might be kind of nice. I have a tough time caring about Ed Sheeran's Letterboxd, Prince, but I'm so happy that you're really into it. I guess I don't find it, well, I don't know. Maybe at some point it'll get fascinating, but the fact that he liked the original Evil Dead more than the 2013 Evil Dead, okay, I do too. So I guess I can hang. It would be hilarious if I ever met this guy, Ed Sheeran, and then that's what I want to talk about. Like, oh my God, dude, you feel the same way about the Evil Dead versus Evil Dead 2013. And he'd be like, wow, I guess I finally met a weirdo. Although I'm sure he's met super weirdos before. We got Lamontre Gillard hanging out. What's happening, Lamontre? Welcome on in. We got Shannon kicking it as well. How are you doing, Shannon? Mr. Ryan West, one of our new channel members. How's it going, Ryan? Ready for the stream, yeah. We don't have Crystal Lake news that I know of. I can let me just reload the site to make sure, because you never know when stuff drops. Doesn't look like there's anything new, Ryan. As soon as we get like a one sheet or just even like a title or just anything, like I will jump on the Crystal Lake stuff as soon as we've got it. There's not really more news as far as Evil Dead goes, but we do have another image we can take a look at. I mean, it's just an image. It's just a still image. Nothing too crazy. Let's see here. Thank you for reminding everyone, Ryan. Appreciate you, man. We got Tia Nina, another one of our great channel members hanging out. How are you doing, Tia? Welcome on in. Welcome. We've got James the Boys 5854. How's it going, James? Said just discovered this channel and have been chewing through the catalog. Love it. Well, thank you so much, James. I appreciate you, man. If there's something that you want to see more of, Or maybe there's a certain kind of video as you're going through checking everything out. There's a certain video where you're like, I like this even a little bit more than whatever. Jump into the comments. Let me know what you really love. I want to make sure that I'm catering the content to you guys. I know it's been a little bit since I've done a pre-recorded video, guys. Usually I just wait for something to kind of hit me and sort of inspire me. But I think I've got to get, to the point where I'm just at least like once a week putting out some sort of pre-recorded video. So definitely got some work to do there. We got Tyrese Daniels. Sorry, first time reading the name there, Tyrese. Scary Movie 6 popcorn bucket shaped like a bong. It sure is. There's a whole bunch of them. That's actually the first story I have lined up and everything for us, guys, because I just figured why not start with something fun and silly. No worries there, Steph. Thank you so much for jumping on in and letting us know. What is Ostermontag? Ostermontag. I don't know what that is. Well, I hope you have fun with it, Steph. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being a channel member as well. We got Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Antonis? Jason Carpenter, another one of our channel members who needed this stream tonight. Well, I'm glad I did it. Guys, full disclosure, I know I've been streaming a lot. Okay, I'm well aware of it. And I thought, man, maybe I need the night off, just to totally unplug. Come back on Friday night with something really cool. We're still going to do that no matter what. But I told you guys I would be live. So here I am, and we're going to have some fun. Maybe I needed this stream too, Jason, and I didn't know until you told me that you needed it. How about that? Oh, thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you. Yes. If you guys dig what we do here, there you go. The guys at Wham mentioned the channel, and I looked it up. Glad I did. No, they didn't. No. They mentioned this channel. I would be so surprised. James, if you're serious about that, send me the video, a link to the video or something, or tell me what the video is called. I'm very curious. Yeah, that doesn't sound, I would be shocked. But it would be very sweet if they did. We've got Lenny, one of our great channel members, jumping on in. What's happening, Lenny? Thank you so much for kicking it. Let's see who else we got here. We got Nanette, another one of our channel members. How are you doing, Nettie? Welcome. Got your donut today? Oh, geez, you guys talking? You guys start talking about donuts. I don't really eat donuts very often, but you guys make me want to go get a donut, and I really shouldn't be doing that because I already ate all my feelings during the month of April. If you know, you know. And I gotta get back into fighting weight here. We got Jigsaw dropping a $5 super chat. Says, ding, ding. Hello. This thing on? Is this thing on? Over. Thank you so much, Jiggy. Appreciate the $5. Starting off our super chat goal. There he is. And yeah, YouTube is still having a tough time. I don't know what's going on, but guys, I'll still count them. The nifty thing is over on StreamYard, I have my own separate tab where they list all of the super chats, so we won't lose count or anything like that. We got Airborne Rocker. What's happening, Airborne? Welcome on in. We got Corey from Wilkie's Movies and Music, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Corey? Thank you so much for jumping on in. We got Emo Nerd Girl. Love seeing Emo Nerd Girl jump on in. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else we've got here. Paul, Mr. Hot Flesh. My horror news friend David Kittredge, Doc Borman, and The Devil is getting national distribution. Film is about director John Borman from Deliverance and his film Exorcist II, The Heretic. Oh, all right. Borman and The Devil. Very cool. That should be fascinating. I have never seen Exorcist II, The Heretic, but I've seen so many people do long form, half hour, 45-minute reviews, whatever. I know like all about it and everything and the infamous nature of the film and all of that, but I have not yet seen it with my own eyes. It's true. I don't. Wait, do I? I don't think I do, Ryan. So I collect, like, vinyl is what I collect mostly. That's what I'm most interested in collecting because you can put it on the record player. I have a nice record player. I've got a nice little sound system as well. So, I've got hundreds of, I don't think I have 1,000 records, but I've got hundreds, maybe 500, something like that. So I love a piece of physical media, and now they do all these re-releases of vinyl. They're really pretty looking, 180 grams, so they're thicker, better quality, all that kind of stuff. So I really like that part of physical media collecting because I can drop the record, drop a needle on the record and really enjoy it and have the big artwork and everything like that. I buy some movies for physical media. Popcorn buckets have never really been my thing. If there's an Evil Dead Burn popcorn bucket, I'll probably try to get it. But also, I kind of despise when things are made purposely in limited quantities to try to make people drive somewhere like on some day when they're not even going to see the movie to spend like $60 on a piece of plastic that like is kind of cool to have, but is relatively meaningless. And this is just all my opinion. So no judgment on anyone that does those things. I kind of hate that we as fans and we as consumers are put in a spot where there still is a manufactured like shortage of things. They do it with physical media releases. They do it all the time. You know what I mean? They want to make lines and everything like that. And even though they're going to sell all those things no matter what, they still have to create like a false demand. So because of all of that and my ridiculous punk rock nature, I'm just sort of like, yeah, I'll let everyone enjoy the popcorn buckets. I think they're really cool looking. Like, it's cool that they do them. That's a whole big diatribe that I just went on for no reason during a horror news stream. All the new people are probably like, yeah, I thought this was going to be a horror news stream. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Ooh, German. Oh, geez. All right. Well, there you go. I'm curious to know how it is. Let us know in Discord how that is. Is there any news on you? Says Pennywise Blackwell. I've not seen any news. A couple weeks ago, we got something where Andy Muschietti was talking about, broad strokes on what the plot is going to be for season 2. Let's see here. I haven't seen anything on Scream 8 since they hired writers, so nothing there. We will cover it as soon as there is something. We will. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm going to do a full review on Passenger after this stream with Cecil from the Horror Show channel. So that should probably drop tomorrow. But I'm not going to say anything about it right now, other than my sigh of whatever that was in regards to T. Parker's comment here. Welcome on in, T. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you are doing well. All right, let's see here. We got Tia Nina dropping a $5. YouTube is an asshole, says Tia Nina. Watch the language. You don't know, Tia. Channel Mommy might be in the chat. She's a lurker, so you never know. Horror News Philippine Edition Obsession is showing May 29th. I'm pumped for you, man. I'm excited for everyone in the Philippines that wants to see a really good, creepy horror movie. Two gonna slap YouTube, says Jigsaw. So there we go. We're already at 3 super chats. So we're just 2 more and we are there, guys. Thank you so very much. You're too sweet. I don't own any Minor Threat on vinyl. I do own some Black Flag on vinyl, Ramones, Descendants, Sex Pistols. Those are like the older punk that I have on vinyl. I guess if you consider like the early Elvis Costello a little punkish, some of that. I mean, I consider a little bit of his stuff, at least to have that kind of attitude. But yeah, those are the early punk records I've got. I'm a Friday the 13th fanboy and started watching all your content about that. I got hooked. Well, I'm a big Friday the 13th fan. I mean, Halloween's my thing. Friday the 13th's like right there, nudged up to it. Yeah, a whole bunch of fun stuff. We actually did a little Friday the 13th live stream last night. Maybe that's what dragged you in. Maybe it is. Very, very excited for the Crystal Lake TV show there, James. Hopefully you are as well. Almost got the Scream 7 popcorn bucket, ran it. They're just so expensive, these things. Like the DeLorean for Back to the Future is pretty cool, but they are so expensive. I made a bologna sandwich for dinner tonight, but I was surprisingly disgusted. Well, every now and then you gotta slum it a little bit, have a bologna sandwich. We got Gory Tiger in the chat. What's happening? Gory, welcome on in. I'm sorry, Pennywise. When we have news for you, it'll probably be in the title. So if we're gonna cover some news, we'll throw your name in the title so we're gonna talk about you. I'm a lurker and I'm not mommy. Well, thank you. We're playing a game of Guess Who. Everyone can take themselves out. Oh no, Channel Mommy is gonna watch my mouth. So, Tia, you're too funny. You are too funny. Okay, guys, you want to get into some news? How about it? How about we get into some news? Let's start off, like I said. Let's jump into this scary movie popcorn bucket. This is kind of cool. I thought I had everything set up for the news, but apparently, oh yeah, I had a weird issue with StreamYard there. Let's do that. I like that better. Yeah. As I can't remember who it was, somebody that's jumped in here that's relatively new to the channel, I believe, as they had said. It's a bong. A bong popcorn bucket is what we've got here for Scary Movie 6, or I guess it's just being called Scary Movie, but we all know what it really is. So let's take a look at this article by John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Scary Movie teases bong-shaped popcorn buckets. Are they real? And let's find out. Are these, I mean, that looks legit as far as that's a lot of oil or melted wax there in the little stem on these bongs. But it looks like you could put a real, yeah, this looks legit. Who knows what these are actually going to look like? You know, if they're made out of plastic, obviously they're not legit. But they look really cool in the picture here. And you can totally tell I'm a stoner. They look so cool, man. So let's see what the article's got here. The original Scary Movie had promotional rolling papers back in the day, so it should probably come as no surprise that the new installment is getting a bong popcorn bucket? The official Scary Movie social media accounts have shared a short video teasing, quote, the popcorn bucket theaters were never ready for, unquote, with the video suggesting that multiple different bong-shaped popcorn buckets will be available ahead of the film's release this summer. It's a bit hard to tell at this time if these are actually real or if they're just having fun and slap some Scary Movie stickers on actual glass bongs as a parody of the popcorn bucket trend. But for what it's worth, director Michael Titties is claiming these are indeed real. Okay, so Titties, who directed the new Scary Movie, writes on Instagram, yes, it's real. And the guys over at Bloody Disgusting say they can't imagine that these will actually be sold in movie theaters, but maybe online. We don't know. Stay tuned. The movie releases June 5th. We don't need to read more about the movie, but maybe take a look at the, I wonder if they'll let us show the video here. It might, let's see what we got. Ooh. Okay. I mean, it looks like glass.
I'm high as fuck.
All right, well, there we go. Hopefully we don't get dinged for that, but why the heck not? I don't think they've got, yeah, there we go. We can just put it on that picture there. I wonder if I can, no, it doesn't look like I can. Yeah, guys, I don't know. This is just a silly bit of news, right? I'm just going to put the bongs up there. But if they actually do this, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the theaters don't sell them. Who knows? But at this point, like we were just talking about with popcorn buckets and with, you know, collectibles of any kind, if they end up selling these in any, you know, way at all, they are going to sell out in about 2 seconds. Like those Killer Clowns dolls that just went up for sale last week. And then I think they did another pre-sale for them. Again, manufacturing a demand. And then the next day you're like, oh, but we actually have more. Those fuckers aren't even shipping till March of 2027, those Killer Clowns dolls. So hopefully with the Scary Movie popcorn bongs, if you really, really want one, hopefully you can get one here, gosh, I guess in like a week, because usually they start rolling them out a little bit before the movie. But I don't know, guys. This is just kind of silly, fun stuff. Let me know what you think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the Scary Movie bong popcorn bucket. And yeah, having said that, I'm just going to jump into the live chat and see what everyone is saying. All right, what do you guys got for me on the Scary Movie popcorn bucket bongs? I'm just going to get that image there. So it's just in the corner there. All right, perfect. Let's see what you guys got for me. Okay, do you guys think this is actually going to be real? Do you think they're glass bongs? Do you think it's just going to be plastic and it's still going to cost $60? Are you going to have to go to a smoke shop to get this damn thing? Or are you just going to have to order them online? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me jump in and see what we got here. Let's do it to it. Says Emo Nerd Girl. Love it. Just wanted to come and say hello. Thank you so much, Freddy Krueger. I wish we had some news for you, man. We are waiting with bated breath to find out what your next step is going to be. And we know that the Craven estate are hearing some ideas, so we can't wait for some Elm Street news to, drop at some point. Video game, movie, something. Hope you're doing well. We got Papa John Loves Trash, one of our great channel members. How you doing, Papa John? Welcome in. Let's see what else we got going on here. The hell am I hearing, says Jigsaw. Yeah, all this stuff is real, apparently. Apparently. I don't smoke, but I might still try to get that. Yeah. I mean, nothing again. I use cannabis pretty regularly. I don't drink alcohol or anything like that anymore. But yeah, it's all about, if you're going to enjoy something like that, just being able to, be responsible about it and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah. Clear plastic and $40. At least $40, right? That's if you can get one not like secondhand, because if you get it secondhand, it's going to be, so much more, right? Let's see where we got. That smoke looks nice. It looks very, very tempting. Yeah. I don't buy popcorn buckets, but if I did, I would buy this one. I really like the Toxic Avenger one, was like the barrel of like sludge. I thought that was pretty cool. Wanted the Shao Kahn helmet bucket, but doesn't fit adult heads. Those fuckers. How dare they only make Shao Kahn helmets for children? Don't they know the people that grew up with Mortal Kombat are, grown-ass adults? Emo Nerd Girl, not a fan of the popcorn bucket bow. At least that's what I think you're talking about. I just want a legit scary movie mask. You can get those at a horror store for sure. There we go. All right, popcorn buckets on Thursday previews. So what? Don't they sometimes come out a week early? Am I wrong about that, T? I feel like I've noticed that a couple of times where it's like the week before the movie comes out, they start selling the bucket. I don't know. We got Batty73 just saying, yes, what's happening, Batty? That bong, ba-bong, bong, bong. Have you guys heard my bong sound effect? Do you guys want to hear my bong sound effect? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. $40 to $50, and honestly, bucket of the year if it's real. Yeah, if it's made out of real glass, then $40 to $60 is a steal. If you can actually smoke out of this thing, $40 to $60 is a steal. Because if you were to buy a bong that was like, one of the bigger ones anyways, I would imagine it would be at least, for good glass, you're going to spend more than $60, I would imagine. Yeah, drinking is passe. Drinking is passe. What are we teaching the kids with the bong thing? Well, it is a rated R movie. So, we can just be fair about that it's, not for the kids, I guess. And that's why I don't think they're going to be sold at the theaters. I think this is going to be something that will be sold through like a back channel, like an actual website that Scary Movie will set up themselves, and you'd have to order one. That's what I'm guessing, because I don't think a theater would have to have a special license to sell glass that could be used for cannabis. I don't see any of the major chains for the reason you just said, Emo Nerd Girl. I don't see any of the major chains wanting to like put these on display and having, little kids being like, "Mommy, what's that?" And then mom would have to be like, "What?" It would be great. It would be great. AMC would be like, "Oh my God, we're going to lose them all." If we didn't lose them all through COVID, these bongs are going to do it. Ashley says it pushes the envelope in a very on-brand way, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was real. I also can see the "it doesn't function" post now. Yes. I would be so surprised if you can actually hold a flame to these things. Yeah. Welcome on in, Ashley. Hope you're doing well. Freddy Krueger saying people keep asking me for news. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's not even your decision. So what can you do? What can you do? I guess you can haunt the nightmares of the Cravens and make them feel like they really got to get this movie going, Gotcha. Or just that day early. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm curious for Disclosure Day. I will probably go see it in the theater. I can't tell from the trailer really like if it's just going to be meh or if it's going to be something cool. So thank you so much, Prince. I appreciate you. It is what she said. You guys want it one more time? You guys want it one more time, man? You want to hear that bong, man? Like the Scream vodka. Yeah. Yeah, I had mixed feelings about that, but whatever. I come at it from a totally different perspective than most people, No, I've not. No, maybe the Deadpool versus Wolverine. I'm not sure. Oh, the Dune one with the sandworm. Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty famous, right? Nanette wants to hear the bong sound. I just did it, but I can do it again because I just did it out of nowhere. I didn't like make a whole thing out of it. What's happening? We got Aaron Click in the house. Looking forward to the Nicole Kidman AMC Bong Pop Get Bucket promo. Yeah. We go to the movies to get high. There you go, guys. There you go. Why is no one asking how the fuck do we get popcorn out of the bong? And those poor theater workers putting the popcorn in. Yeah, one kernel at a time, dropping it down the middle. That's why I figured you like, you know, it's going to have a detachable bit and you fill the, maybe you take the, I don't know, the chimney off or whatever you want to call it. You take the smokestack off and then you can eat out of the round part. I don't even know. I smoke weed and I don't even know what the terms are for these things. Yeah, you put your weed in it, man. Classic SNL skit. Love it. Love it, Aaron. Already contributing. Look at that. Just jumped in. Okay, guys, let's hit up our next story here. We're just going to keep her on rolling. Rolling. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go back over here. So, guys, I saw this pop up, and we don't have much information, but I think Kyle Gallner is fucking awesome as an actor. I love seeing him in horror movies. I think JT Mollner is pretty dope too. And the last time they worked together, they made Strange Darling, which is, I don't know, I think one of the best movies from 2024. So I'm excited for this. And like, let's dive into the article. I kind of scanned it really quick just to get a little info. But here we go. Let's just go ahead and jump into this article from Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting, with a headline that reads, Kyle Gallner joins Brie Larson in JT Mollner's creature feature, Skeletons. So we got a shot here from Strange Darling. Look at this man. Look, no one wears a mustache quite like Kyle Gallner, so I'm going to give it up to him there. Like, we can't all do that, bud. Some of us have to go full beard, but this guy, he can pull it off. The article says here, Kyle Gallner from Smile and Scream 5 will reunite with Strange Darling filmmaker JT Mollner on Skeletons. The genre favorite joins Brie Larson in the, quote, modern take on the creature horror film from producer J.J. Abrams. All right, so that makes it a little more interesting. This is going to be probably maybe not a mainstream kind of project, but it's going to have a little bit of that cachet with JJ attached. Skeletons, quote, is told from the perspective of a young boy who slowly begins to discover that his beloved parents are hiding a disturbing secret about his mother's true nature. Mollner will direct from a script by Brian Duffield, who wrote Love and Monsters and No One Will Save You, based on a short story called Failsafe from Philip Fracassi. All right, well, there you go. Bad Robot, Infrared, Assemble Media, they're producing with a whole list of folks. And we did see here that, you know, Brie Larson is in there as well. And she, you know, carries quite a bit of oomph as well, you know, in the industry. So, you know, like her or not really like her. At this point, I'm just sort of like, well, I don't really care. Let's give Brie Larson a shot here in a horror film, in a creature feature called Skeletons. So, yeah, you know, not much here other than a little seed of an idea. We know, you know, who's behind it as far as producers go. We've got a great team up or reteam from Strange Darling. So I know this is a brand new story. I just wanted to jump on it because everything I've seen Kyle Gallner in has been really good. And he's always been great. And it seems like I don't know if he's necessarily picky, but he just knows how to pick them. So it's, you know, and JT Mollner, of course, what they did together on Strange Darling, it's one of the most beautiful looking films I've seen in a really long time. You know, shout out to Giovanni Ribisi, the actor who was the cinematographer in that movie. So maybe he'll join up with him here, but I am a big creature feature kind of guy. Sometimes we get away from those types of movies. It's fun when they come back. Don't worry, it's come. It's fun when they come back because, you know, things just go in waves like that. And it's a really great way to, you know, kind of send a love letter to the horror of like yesteryear, all the Roger Corman, Burt I. Gordon kind of crazy stuff that was in the drive-in. So I'm looking forward to this one. Hopefully it's a modern take and it's dark and spooky and all that stuff. But I'm curious to know what you guys think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know down there how you're feeling about Skeletons. And having said that, I'm going to jump over to the chat and see what they think. All right, guys, what do you got for me? Who is the, where are the big old, Kyle Gallner fans? Ladies, don't be afraid. You can, put your hand up. I know you're all sliding out of your seat seeing him with a mustache, so just calm on down. That's from the movie The Hot Chick. Which one? You put your weed in it? They used it in The Hot Chick because he did it on SNL like in the early 90s. There was I think it was a recurring skit that happened a couple times where he works at like a trinket shop, but everything is, you could put your weed in there, man. Yeah, Strange Darling is fucking awesome. Yeah, Brie Larson is, I'm going to give her another shot. She had a weird couple of years where she just kept on putting her foot in her mouth. I'm going to give her another shot. I'll be nice about it. We got Smith Grove Sanitarium, 163 days until Halloween, guys. We are basically right around the corner. It is scumming up. Is she the skeleton? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, she's probably the skeleton, and Kyle Gallner's the dad, and then we're going to get some little kid actor. Yeah. Daddy Kyle. Remember Movie Gallery says when he pops up in Scream 5, Leo DiCaprio meme. Well, God, isn't it such a shame how he was used in that movie? That's one of the things that always, whenever I think like, oh, Scream 5 wasn't that bad, I start thinking about some of the stuff it did. And I'm like, you guys fucking wasted Kyle Gallner, wasted him as a talent. And he has the most lackluster, terrible kill maybe in the whole franchise. Ugh. They could have done so much better by him. He deserves more than that, I think. There you go. Yeah, September 1st. Boom. Officially spooky season. It sounds interesting, but I haven't seen Strange Darling, so I don't know how I feel about skeletons. Nanette, you should check out Strange Darling. It's really good. And here's the cool thing about Strange Darling, guys. If you watch it, after you watch it the first time, a couple days later, watch it a second time, because it's one of those movies that once you know how it all shakes out, it is so rewarding to rewatch. It is like a total fresh watch once you know what's really going on. Super cool that way. So I highly recommend it. Kyle got The Shaft in Veronica Mars. I never watched that show, but I knew it was pretty popular. Let's see here. Oh, he just gets the shaft everywhere he goes. Emo Nerd Girl loves Kyle Gallner. How about it? JT Mollner wrote The Long Walk, my favorite film from last year. I still need to see Strange Darling, but definitely interested in whatever he does right now. Yeah, he did he adapted. So he wrote the screenplay, but yeah, based on Stephen King's story. But yeah, I mean, still a really good job adapting the story to a screenplay. Mollner's really talented. He also has the TCM A24 television show coming up. So that's another reason to keep an eye on JT Mollner. So yeah, I mean, watch Strange Darling if you haven't, and get pumped for skeletons. Kyle has the best Instagram. He actually, I must have missed something there from Zach. Zach, I don't know if you accidentally hit enter a little too early. Sometimes that happens to me. I hit enter a little too early. I followed him on, I don't know if I follow him on Insta, but I follow him on Twitter, and he seems very accessible and really cool, down to earth. And it seems like he just is. I mean, he's a film fan, of course, of all genres, but it seems like he really is a horror fan as well, specifically. So that's pretty awesome as well. Paul says, creature features, check out the book Fright Fest Guide to Monster Movies. Check out Saccharin AU Body Horror. By the way, guys can crush on Kyle too. Lordy says his first crush was Brad Pitt. It's true. Yeah, no, I will say, yeah, Kyle Gallner is very handsome and very charming. So I don't know if it's necessarily, if I would call it a crush, but there are certain performers that they suck you in, they just, whatever it is about their look and the intensity that they, bring to the screen. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender. I always think of those two guys, as far as male actors that just have this, they just pull you right in. I think Kyle Gallner's kind of close. Very, very solid, super solid. And yeah, chicks dig him. Chicks dig the Gallner, and some guys, totally fair. Yes, yeah. Papa John knows what's up there. Long Walk was my movie of the year last year. It was a heartbreaker, man. Welcome on in, Joe, one of our great channel members, moderators, and a buddy of mine. Joe actually lives in the same area. We kick it every now and then. It's wild, totally wild. Wasn't he in that nerd movie where he gets arrested at the punk show? I saw it on Tubi. Nerd movie where he gets arrested at the punk show. I don't know that I've seen that, but I wouldn't be surprised because he plays what? He plays a goth kid in the A Nightmare on Elm Street remake. He also played a goth kid in Jennifer's Body. So I could see him being in a nerd movie and being someone that gets arrested at a punk show. I can totally see that. Jigsaw dropping a $5 super chat, reminding everyone to hit that like button or the skeleton will be visiting you. Look out. Or the passenger will be visiting you. Even worse. Even worse. You do not want that passenger getting near you. Thank you so much for the $5, Jiggy. Really appreciate you, bud. We got Dominic St. Clair in the house. What's happening, Dominic? Hope you're doing well. Dinner in America is the name of the movie. All right. There we go. And Jiggy with the 5th super chat. Boom. Number 5. A 5 for 5 right there. And we're going to go for another little bit here. We got another hour and a half left. Courtesy of Jigsaw there. He was, yes. Yeah, he plays the emo kid, goth kid, whatever you want to call him. Same difference. Same difference to me. Thank you so much, Jiggy. Really do appreciate all the love. Guys, that's 4 Jigsaw super chats and 1 from Tia Nina finishing out that goal. Thank you so very much, guys. You're incredible. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on over to the next little bit of news. Yes, y'all. Radio Silence is back. They must know that I really, really love them a lot because they keep on having movies announced. Now, I know, whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of these guys. That's pretty irrelevant, like a lot of people are. They're going to be making that new Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser. They made 2 Scream movies that did very well. The first, Ready or Not, people love that. The second one, I don't think did very well, but for the most part, Abigail did well, all that stuff. Radio Silence has been pretty much like hit after hit after hit. And I am kind of curious about this because I grew up in that era where I think these books were already out, by the time I was checking them out from the library. They'd been going on for a while. So maybe this article will give us an idea of when these books started. I'm going to guess sometime in the 70s. But really fun, choose your own adventure books. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. Hopefully they still exist, or there's like a new, I don't know if there's like kind of a new group, new company that is making, more of these still. But let's jump into the article here. We've got one from John Squires here from Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, "Choose Your Own Adventure Movie in the Works from Scream Directors Radio Silence." And there you go. That should give you a good idea of, what these books are all about. This is so much nostalgia looking at these. I used to go backwards with these books and just look at all the different outcomes that you could get to. I never read one like tried and true. I never did it the right way. Of course, I never did it the right way. Here we go. Remember the classic choose your own adventure books that allowed you to interactively shape the story as you read it? A big screen adaptation is currently in the works at 20th Century Studios, and Deadline reports that the filmmaking team known as Radio Silence are on board to direct the feature. Deadline reports, quote, Radio Silence's Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette will work from a script by Tom Bizzle, a WGA award winner with credits including Andor and The Disaster Artist. All right. The outlet adds in today's report, quote, no details yet as to the plot of the featured take, end quote. So let's read a little bit about these books because I was curious about that. Let's just go ahead and check out this next paragraph or two. Deadline goes on to explain in their exclusive report, quote, the series officially launched at Bantam Books in 1979 with The Cave of Time, a book by Edward Packard, who had ideated a novel branching story concept while telling bedtime stories to his daughters. Between 1997 and 1979 and 1999. Sorry, that must be a little typo there. Between 1979 and 1999, more than 184 of these game books were published from 30 different authors, with stories set everywhere from the ocean to outer space and myriad fantasy worlds. So there's no word yet on which of the books Radio Silence is going to adapt or pull from, if any, or what the genre of the movie will ultimately be and how it's going to work in that trademark. But of course, Bloody Disgusting is going to keep us up to snuff on everything, and I will keep you guys up to date based on their reporting. We love sticking with Bloody Disgusting here, because even though they may report things that are from Deadline and from Variety, we know they're coming from verified, reputable sources. That's very important, guys. So we love our staff, not our staff, but we love the staff over at Bloody Disgusting for helping us out. And I'm curious, guys. I want to go back to this. I'm just going to put this up on the screen. So is this going to be like one of those, is this going to be like one of the modern, like Jumanji kind of movies? I have the feeling that it might be sort of like that, where, you know, it's like a kind of like a teen, what do they call that? Young adult kind of vibe, you know, and a bunch of kids get sucked into this world where they're, you know, pulled into a choose your own adventure kind of thing. I can absolutely see that. They're going to cast The Rock and Kevin Hart. Like, we'll find that out like tomorrow, you know. I mean, I'm joking, but it just kind of seems to have a little bit of that Jumanji-ish sort of vibe, you know. What's the other one that they did? Like Journey to the Center of the Earth or whatever. All those like young adult kind of adventure stories. I'm getting that kind of vibe from this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are they going to lean more into doing something a bit more serious with this one, or do you think this is just going to be a fun one for the kids? And I think it could be really cool. Like the concept, there's something there. I just always worry with Radio Silence, guys, because they usually don't hit my sensibilities when it comes to things like sense of humor or suspense. Like a lot of the really important stuff, for whatever, it just always goes over my head or it just doesn't jive with me. I know it's probably just as much a me problem as it is a they problem. But I'm curious to know what you guys think in the live chat. Let me know your thoughts on Choose Your Own Adventure. If you have any of these books or you have one that's your favorite, like, let me know. Jump into the comments if you're watching after the fact, all that good stuff. And I am going to hop back on over to the live chat and see what they've got to say about everything. All right, guys, what do you got for me on Choose Your Own Adventure books? I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Yeah, I'm having coffee this late. You're not my real dad. Don't tell me what to do. Let's see. Thank you for hitting the like button, Annette. Yeah, don't worry. I don't think the passenger will be visiting anyone, unfortunately. Never read those books before. Yeah, I never like properly read them, but I would like flip through them and, you know, just play around. Radio Silence sure don't know when to stay silent. Dude, it's so wild to me because I know that they really do hit with a mainstream audience in a big way, but so much of it for me is just, I mean, it's just how it's going to go. Like, sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't, you know? I definitely, like, I felt like with Radio Silence, it got to the point to me where I was like, fuck, is it just all these guys' movies where I don't really like them very much? And I was like, am I just going into these movies with a bad attitude? But like, I've tried, guys. I really have. Then you should check out Skeletons. Yeah, I remember checking them out in like middle school and stuff. Aaron says I'm 54 years old and I don't think I've ever seen or heard the word ideated until just now. I think I've read it before, but I barely got through it. I don't know if you noticed that, Aaron. Like, my brain wanted to think that it was going to be a different word because it's not a word you see. Yeah. Ideated. I had an idea, right? The only news source I trust is Ben Grimm. Oh my gosh. You don't trust me, Tia? How dare you? You don't. I thought we had something special and adorable and that you trusted me when I talk about horror news, Tia. I'm hurt. Carrie Crave Cinema, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods, one of our new mods here, says, hey, just getting out of work on the bus. Phone is dying, but wanted to use my battery juice to hang with y'all. Well, thank you so very much, Carrie. You are too sweet. Too sweet. Baba John says, I don't know how this would work. There was a direct-to-video animated Batman movie that was Choose Your Own Adventure using your TV remote, but how does this work in a theater filled with strangers? Well, what if they go to a world like in Jumanji? They get sucked into a book, and it's all these characters, and they have to work together and decide which thing they're going to choose, or they'll be like trapped in the book forever. So it's something supernatural that pulls you into the story, you know, through the looking glass kind of thing, and the only way out and back to their family. So sort of a little Wizard of Oz kind of thing, you know, like, you got to get back to the real world, and they have to probably overcome their little beefs that they've got and their character flaws and work together and make the right decisions, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm picturing, Papa John. But yeah, who knows? We really don't know at this point. The last Jumanji was so funny. I've only seen the very first one. Yeah. Here's what it's about, T, is I work mad scientist hours. Sometimes I'm up till 4 or 5 working on stuff. That's just kind of how I am. Bit of a weirdo. I never said I wasn't, right? Never said I wasn't. Let's see what else we got here. I think we can jump into the next story here pretty soon. Not crazy about radio silence either, so I don't think you're alone. Okay, well, good. I felt bad, man. I'm sure I said this so many times before, but when I went and saw Abigail, I saw a press screening of it with my buddy Cecil. People were like roaring with laughter and having such a good time. And I was sitting there like, just like moving in my seat and being like, this movie is not it for me. I don't know. Like, and then I saw it a little bit on Discord a few months back. It was in the, our voice channel in the Discord, and man, again, like Dan Stevens just, ugh, I don't know what it is. It's like a popsicle stick on my tongue. It's just like, ugh, like I just want to get away. Yeah, radio silence. I don't know. To MCU, yeah, I can see that. I would not be surprised if these guys direct a Marvel movie. Oh, I didn't even know that. You can do that with Final Destination on the 3 on the DVD. Well, that might make that movie better, because I think that's one of the worst movies in the franchise for sure. Sound activated by audience left or right options. Well, I think it's just going to be built into the story. I don't think the audience is going to choose their own adventure. I think it's going to be worked into the narrative of the actual movie. Yeah, I think that would be, they're set up for success for that one, right, T? But I am worried because I don't like their sense of humor. And I love the sense of humor in those first couple Mummy movies, especially the first one. I just think it's perfectly like, it's, what's fun? Here's the thing about the Mummy movies that I realized when I went back to that first Brendan Fraser movie. I was like, this is the blueprint for what Disney did with Pirates of the Caribbean. It's so similar. Like, go back and watch that Stephen Sommers Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, and you will see what I'm talking about. You're like, oh shit. Yeah, a couple years later, they put out Pirates, and Pirates is very similar in how they do almost everything, Oh, a guy that's like in jail. They in the first 2 Pirates movies, like, oh, you're in jail, you're about to get killed, and then you're like saved and rescued and whisked away to go on some grand adventure to like discover some sort of treasure and fight some sort of undead army. Like, oh my gosh. So all they need to do with Radio Silence is just bring it back to that, and don't let Guy Busick write your movie. Do not. Jason loved Abigail. There you go. Saw it 5 times in the theater. And dude, it hit with so many people, Jason. Like, I'm happy that it hit for you. It did not for me. Certain things do in the movie. Like, I'm not saying the movie's bad. I didn't think Abigail was bad. I think I gave it 3 stars, So it's like, I just think the little things, the in-between things could have hit better for me. Thought Melissa Barrera was awesome in it. I will never turn down an opportunity to see her in a tank top. So yeah, I guess if somebody asked me to watch Abigail again, I'd at least tune in for those sections of the movie. That's pretty interesting. They did that with the Final Destination DVD, Carrie. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's very, there's a blueprint, there's a blueprint. We got Pulp Cinema Pictures TV jumping on in, says, hey, Davey Deathray, hope you're good. I just put together a quick proof of concept for an indie horror film I'm developing. Hell yeah, man. Welcome. Welcome on in, and congrats on putting that proof of concept together. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay, let's jump into the next story here. You didn't like the first one? I thought the first one was pretty fun. The first one first Pirates of the Caribbean sort of reminds me of a Disney animated feature too. Like, it seems like it was, I realized this after watching it like maybe a few years ago, where I was like, man, this just looks and feels like an old like Little Mermaid or something, almost like it was storyboarded. Of course storyboards are, usually they're hand drawings anyways, but I'm like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we found out at some point that Pirates was being thought of as a possible 3D animated feature, and they just went for live action. Welcome on in there, King Matthew. Hope you're doing well. Guys, let's go ahead and jump on over to the next story here. The next couple are very, very quick, guys. So there's nothing really big. to talk about here. But we're gonna jump on over to some Resident Evil talk. Zach Cregger's Resident Evil here. This one comes to us by way of John Squires over there at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, Resident Evil official posters. Zach Cregger unleashes hell in theaters this September. So let's check out what they've got for us here. As you all know, we had the trailer, I believe it was last week, maybe the week before. Is time going by that quickly? I don't know. But the article says, based on the iconic video game franchise, director Zach Cregger's Resident Evil opens in theaters and IMAX September 18th from Sony, and 2 official posters have arrived today. The film is being billed as, quote, a thrilling and terrifying reinvention of the Resident Evil franchise from the mind of visionary filmmaker Cregger. Check out the new posters below. So yeah, guys, we're going to skip all the other stuff because we've all read about this and we all know what people are saying and what Cregger's saying, and it looks like there's a little YouTube short here in our way. So I missed that there were 2 posters. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're just going to look at the posters separately. How about that? So let's go over here. Okay. Now there's got to be a way that I can, is that showing that actual full poster? Okay. Well, I'm just going to do that because it actually shows the whole poster there for you guys. So yeah, I really dig this shot here. We see a little bit of this in that trailer, right? There's like bodies that start falling off the buildings. I don't know why the zombies climb to the tops of the buildings. I don't like, I mean, that's showing some pretty, this is like a well thought out plan by the zombies, but I guess if they work in something to where there's like a hive mind, which they certainly could do in Resident Evil, because it's not just your standard like George Romero kind of zombies. There's other stuff going on in Resident Evil. I guess they can explain that. It's a cool image, and it looks like headed towards the tower there, probably the Umbrella headquarters or something like that. We've got our main character with his med pack and everything, making it through the snow, or maybe this is, or yeah, I think it is snow. I'm like, is it ash? No, but I remember snow being in the trailer. And let's go ahead and check out this one as well. There we go. This is pretty cool because I noticed right away there's like the Umbrella logo down on the bottom third with the car. You know, all the little splits in the lighting are part of that Umbrella logo with the red on the bottom there with the brake lights. This is actually a pretty brilliant trailer. And even if that is a person there that's in front of the vehicle, the way they're making the shadow look, you know, to look like a zombie, this is pretty dope. Like, I think I'm so like lukewarm on the movie because I've been lukewarm on Weapons and Barbarian. Like, Zach Cregger hasn't really blown me away. He hasn't wowed me. He hasn't really. Weapons, I'll say, was a little disappointing because of the last third of the movie, but the movie was very well made. So I'm just waiting for him to like really put something together that's, you know, 3 solid acts for me as an audience member, 3 solid acts. And I'm a little, you know, trepidatious about Resident Evil because we've already had so many movies that have nothing to do with the video games. And then now it looks like Cregger is going to take inspiration from the games, but he's looking to tell his own story, which could be really cool. Or it could just end up like one of all the others that we have that pretty much did the same thing. So I don't know. I'm feeling better though as we see more and get to know more about this movie. I did like the trailer. I don't know if I want to watch more from the trailer because if there's some really, really good stuff, I just want to experience it in the theater. And I get the feeling from the trailer that we got just the other week that they're holding back in that trailer. So I don't even know if I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm just choosing to be optimistic and thinking to myself, okay, this will be the one where Cregger gets you, Davey. This will be the one. Like, just, you know, let him do his thing and maybe you'll be surprised. But I don't know, guys. I'm just all torn up about Resident Evil. I want a Resident Evil 4 movie so bad that my head is all twisted about it. But I am curious to know what you guys think. So if you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments down below. Let me know down there. If you're watching live right now, let me know in the chat. How excited are you for Resident Evil from Zach Cregger? And which one of these 2 posters, I wish I could share them both at the same time. I didn't prepare, but here's one. This is like the first poster that is taken from that trailer. And then this other one, I think is just a really cool, just graphic design concept. So which poster do you like more? And are you excited for Zach Cregger's Resident Evil? Let me know. All right, let's see what you guys got here in the chat. in the chitty chat. How's the chitty chat going? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Captain Jack Sparrow. Imagine if Jim Carrey agreed to it. That would have been wild. I mean, I like how it all shook out. I think it shook out the right way, other than Disney not bringing Johnny back and basically, letting him go over what turned out to be a bunch of bogus shit that he went to court for. I only liked the first three. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, and really it's all about the first one for me. I think that's the best one. I do really like Davy Jones in the second movie. Like Bill Nighy is a great actor, so not going to complain about that. But I think the first one's the best one. Yeah, just pull the band-aids off because we know you love ranting. I'm trying to not rant. Trying not to rant. I am feeling better about Resident Evil as we learn more. So I can't let myself get too excited though, guys, because with Weapons, I was convinced that Weapons was going to give me everything I wanted. And in the last third of the movie, it kind of did the opposite of everything that I not just wanted, but just like everything that I think of as good storytelling from an audience perspective. It's just like, and maybe that was the point to go against it, but I don't think it's not like it subverted my expectations. It's like it pulled back too much of the curtain. I felt like the mystery, just the mystique of Aunt Gladys in the last 25 minutes of that movie, they just strip her of all that mystique. And to me, that's what made the movie, that's the bit of the movie I really loved, is when the mystique was there. So I don't know how they're going to do a prequel. I mean, I'm probably not going to see it. Maybe I'll see it to cover it for the channel. God, every time I say that, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to see it. And then I'm like, but dude, you might have to. Yeah, I thought it was just the one. And then as I'm reading the article, I'm like, oh, there you go, Davey. There you go. Yeah, it's very like, hey guys, we need a coordinated effort. Zombies, we need 4 on this one building, 4 on the next one. We're going to jump down at this guy. It just, yeah. I didn't know they did that. I did not know they did that. How are you doing, Paula? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. No worries about being late, Paula. No one's late here except for me. I'm always late. I am always late. Yeah, so Carrie, I would say the second one, Apocalypse, and the third one, Extinction. Those are the 2 that I think are the best in the Resident Evil franchise. Those are the only 2 that I would ever watch again. I haven't seen every single one. I think I missed like the last 2 that they put out. But yeah, Apocalypse is actually really fun. Like that's a really cool sci-fi or, action movie with sci-fi elements. Definitely horror elements as well. It's got the one dude from The Mummy. What's his name? He was in Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. In The Mummy, he plays the Arabic guy, but like, what the heck do I know? I don't know what the guy's actual heritage is. But he's a very handsome man that was in a bunch of movies back then. And he's a really good performer too. He's great in Apocalypse. And then Extinction, I thought was pretty fun too. There you go. They're not like amazing movies or anything, Carrie, but they're fun. You know what I mean? There's a 1-minute featurette released today. Gave 0 confidence the movie is going to deliver. Oh, 0. Gave you 100 I'm like, why did I read that like 0? What am I doing to you, T? There was a 1-minute feature. Where the hell is the 1-minute featurette? Is that what they're showing here in this short? Oh, maybe this is it. I can't play it because it's Sony. Yeah, I'll watch this on my own, T. But I know that if I play anything from Sony, they are gonna freak out. They do not play well with others. Thank you for reminding everyone, Carrie. Appreciate you. Yeah, the second poster is what's up. Dead Man's Chest is the best one for me. My ranking is 2, 1, 3, 5, 4. All right. Oh yeah, 5 was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. Papa John says, I think Cregger's writing is good, but not great, but I love his directing style. I've never played a Resident Evil game, but I'm hella looking forward to this film. Yeah, I think he's a really solid director. Nothing about the direction, I thought, no notes from the guy that's never made a movie or made a short film. But yeah, I think it's the writing for me too. I think it is. It really, like Barbarian, again, like the last third, if you're writing a horror movie, really any story, especially horror, I think it's so important. Like your third act should be arguably the best act in the film. It should at least fight for that position. Like, yeah, maybe you want your first act to be the best because you're like trying to catch your audience. The second act is when you're like figuring stuff out. It can dip a little bit as far as like, you know, not quality, but like as far as if you had to start bench cut your acts of a movie. But man, your third act can't be a cut. Your third act has to be a start or a bench and start bench cut. And I think a lot of horror movies, I mean, how many times, guys, do we anticipate, look forward to, build a bunch of hype up for a movie, for a horror movie specifically, and then everyone goes out and sees it, and half of the people are like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever, and then the other half are like, you know, it just, that's just kind of what can happen, you know, if that third act doesn't really hit with everyone. And then there's times when it's most of the audience is like, oh my God, like what the hell happened in the last third of that movie? You know, or the reveal ruined it. A lot of people bitched about the reveal for Scream 7. I don't know if it ruined it for everyone, but a lot of people really hated the reveal. And for me, it totally landed. So there you go. You know, different strokes for different folks. Aaron says, I have a pretty good feeling about the new Resident Evil, and I'm not even invested in it. I've only seen the first Resident Evil movie. I know it's not a great movie, but I liked it. Yeah, I think the first one is like fun enough for what it is, but I never really liked, what's her name? Michelle Rodriguez? Never really liked her as a performer. For me, Apocalypse, man. That's the best one. Extinction's pretty fun too. There's a really cool Day of the Dead homage in Extinction where they have basically a chained up zombie that recognizes, you know, like picks up a phone and does all the bub kind of stuff, you know? So that really hit with me. They also talk about Southeast Alaska in Extinction, which I thought was cool because they acknowledge the fact that there are places in Alaska that are cut off that you can't drive to or anything like that. So I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That was me growing up. We would have been fine. Juneau would have been A-okay as long as they stopped air traffic. How about it? Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Justin jumping in says Weapons is good. I think so too. I gave it 3 stars, maybe 3.5. I think it's good. The marketing made it look like it was going to be great. And the first 2/3 of the movie, I was thinking it was great. And then it fell from greatness. Yeah, Sony's really tough. They don't like people trying to help them market their movies for free. It's too bad. We got Nancy Downs in the house. How are you doing, Nancy? Love your Joker smile there, Miss Faruza. Obsession is a masterclass in third acts. It is a very good third act. Yeah. Well, and I think Obsession is just the benefit of Obsession, and I'll talk about it at a greater length at some point. The benefit is that it's simple. The story is so simple in Obsession. So they don't have to do too much other than just explore this very narrow lane, right? There's a benefit in that. There's almost a freedom in that because Curry Barker didn't try to do too much with the movie. He didn't even try to be, you know, there's some really good camera shots and everything, but he wasn't being too artsy fartsy. It's very by the numbers, just make a solid movie, you know? And I do think the third act does land for me. Yeah. Third act is not a cut for everyone. That's true. You're talking specifically about Weapons. Yes. And I just mean in general, because just as a generalization, Ben, not even talking about Weapons exclusively, we just hear that a lot, or I feel like I hear it a lot in horror, where people are let down by the way the movie, like the last 20, 25 minutes of the movie, you know, or that the last 20, 25 just wasn't as good as what came before it. So it sort of, you know, gives you more of a lukewarm response rather than that positive response. Yeah. I think this is Nanette. I think it's Nanette. Yeah, Nettie jumping around. I love it. Sony is an asshole too. Weapons was my #1 favorite movie of 2025. It knocked me on my ass. Well, there you go. Jason loves it. Yeah, Together was my #1 horror. I really like Toxic Avenger quite a bit too. Sinners was great. Yeah, trying to think of others. Not Shelby Oaks. Not The Black Phone 2. Yeesh. Let's see here. I think, guys, we just got one more, and this one is really, really quick. This is just an Evil Dead burn image. super, super chill. Let's go back on over there and let's do this. So this one comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting with a headline that reads, "You can almost see this very dark new Evil Dead Burn image." So let's check it out, guys. Let's jump into this. It is very, very small story here. Not even a story, just a little something to show off. And I'm guessing it's going to be a high-res version of what you see right there on the screen. So the article says, a fresh new image from Evil Dead Burn was released as part of Fandango's summer movie preview this afternoon, though it's unfortunately a bit too hard to really see. Check out the original image below, along with a version we lightened up underneath. So how about that? And of course, you guys know Evil Dead Burn's coming out July 10th, 2026. This one's directed by Sebastian Vanacek, who directed Infested a few years ago. And he actually co-wrote the movie with his writing partner, who he wrote Infested with. So some really great continuity with those two guys coming in and, taking on, the sixth entry in the Evil Dead franchise as far as films go. So yeah, really, really exciting here. Let's check out the images. We don't need to read about the plot or anything like that. We've covered all that here on the channel. So this is I'll bring up both images here so we can get a good look. Okay, here we go. So this is the original image, just with the kind of darkness that they're talking about. It's difficult to really see if anything's going on. And then they have brightened up the image just a little bit, brighten it up there. So yeah, we see our main girl here. It seems like she's our main character, Alice. And that cut she's got on her eye, if you remember from the trailer, the Red Band trailer that came out, we see her get thrown into that mirror. And then even if you remember the Green Band trailer, the one shot, it starts with her like waking up after she's been, hit, that's given her this bruise on her head, or this, right here, it looks like a gash, like straight up cut, and I think they're being really smart about this. Think about that. Now, I haven't watched the international trailer because I heard it put in a whole bunch of story stuff and I don't want that stuff spoiled. So I just watched the Green Band one-shot trailer and then I watched the US Red Band trailer. And I think they're being really smart because this image here doesn't spoil anything that we already have seen in those trailers. So we just get a great shot of Alice trying to hold back her panicked breathing, I'm guessing. This might even be from the end of that one shot. Remember, she like runs, or she like crawls to the other side of the stairs. There's all this mayhem going on in the hallway, like behind her and everything. And she is at that point trying to basically not be seen or heard, right, by the Deadites. So this might be, I'm imagining this shot is like the camera's on the other side of that hallway. She's sitting there, sitting down, covering her mouth, looking at the mayhem. And in the trailer, we get the cameras on the other side of her and she's looking away. But this picture seems to be, obviously, on the other side of all the action there. So I like that we get an image of our, bloodied up hero here. And I like that it doesn't really, give anything else away. Just a little piece, nothing too crazy. Probably something that I wouldn't really cover on the channel, but I happen to be a massive Evil Dead fan. You might be able to see that poster there. There you go. So yeah, I'm gonna be excited for all the Evil Dead Burn news we can get other than that international trailer. I'm looking at everything and checking everything out. So I'm gonna see what you guys think in the live chat. But if you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on Evil Dead Burn. Are you excited for this one? Do you think this will be the best horror movie of 2026? For my money, because I'm such a big fan of the franchise, and I'm trying to go in with just like chill expectations. I expect it to be good because it's Evil Dead, and Evil Dead's never let me down. You know what I mean? I'm just curious, like, is this going to hit Evil Dead 2013 level? Is it going to go beyond that as far as like uncomfortability and gore and my enjoyment of it? So I'm just super pumped for Evil Dead Burn. I know everyone's still riding the obsession wave and everything like that, but for my money, it's going to be really difficult to beat an Evil Dead movie. But only time will tell. So yeah, let me know in the live chat what you think. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. All right, guys, let's see what you got over here for me. Who is pumped? Who is pumped for Evil Dead Burn, huh? Okay, just catching up with everyone. Let's see what we got. The third act was my favorite part of Weapons, but I still think it was a little too different from the first two acts. Wish both acts were in that tone. Yeah, I just wanted more mystery for Gladys. Yeah. Let's see what we got. That's the kind of sore eyes I don't want to get. Hashtag evil burn. There you go, Prince. There's no time like the present to watch a movie like The Craft. I love The Craft. Yeah, I don't know if I watch it every year, like every other year. I do enjoy it. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Interested to see what they're going to do with this new chapter of Evil Dead. Well, they're going to beat the hell out of some people. They're going to laugh at them while they put them through, 2 hours of torment, 2 hours of our time of torment. Yeah. I expect great things from Evil Dead all the time. I got a paper cut and I'm screaming like a bitch. Could not survive in an Evil Dead movie. Yeah, you're like bones sticking out. You're like, oh, God. Still got to fight. No taking a breath. Don't watch it because they show a lot. Yeah, it is popped up. Like the other day, I looked for the standard Red Band trailer. I think I was going to share it with somebody and I clicked on it. And yeah, right away they open up with like it's like the shot of the couple at a wedding or something like that. I'm like, oh, fuck that. Like, I don't need to see the family interacting. Like, I'm going to watch the movie. Like, I will experience it there. Yeah, The Craft with a K. Craftina. Really excited about Evil Dead Burn, says Carrie. Hell yeah. I think it'll be I think I'd be all right in an Evil Dead movie, says Ron. By the way, I haven't even said hello to Ron. Ron, what's going on? Theron the Brutal, as we like to call him. One of our great channel members. Hope you're doing well, Ron. I once tore my thumbnail off while working on a truck and kept working. Yeah, you could probably make it longer than a lot of us in an Evil Dead type situation there, Ron. Oh, let's see what else we got. Jigsaw, you're making me want that damn mac and cheese. Don't forget the hot dogs. Put some sausage in there. Ron, you don't need a bubble. You need the whole body armor and shield. Oh, okay. I think I'm all caught up. Carrie, I love the fun tone of the crazy kids going nuts. And spoiler, chasing and eating a person. Are they eating her too? I remember them like literally ripping her limb from limb. I don't remember them eating, but I guess it all fits, right? Yeah, I was just kind of, I don't know. I liked the mystery. I'll say that. Evil Dead Burn looks like if 2013 and Rise had a baby. It does look like a nice little blend. It's going to be so interesting to see what, after this movie comes out, guys, we're going to have as many Evil Dead films outside of the original trilogy as are in the trilogy, of course. We'll have 3 of each. So it's going to be wild. Moving forward after Burn, there's going to be more movies since that big 1993 to 2013 break, There'll be more movies since then, since 2013 than before. So it'll be like the way that we'll kind of look back like retrospectively and look at the franchise and the way that we'll think about the franchise and just frame of reference is going to be so different once we reach that point where there's Wrath has come out and there's more since 2013 than before. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy when the original Evil Dead isn't isn't carrying the weight, of the franchise. I think we're going to totally look at things differently. And yeah, like you're saying, this one looks like 2013 and Rise having a baby. I totally get what you're saying because I'm picking up on that feel too. I hope that we are going to get some humor in this movie that they're not really alluding to in the trailer because I'm picking up on some of an Evil Dead 2 kind of vibe. I still think it's going to be leaning into the mean, T. Like, I think we're going to get, like you're saying, 2013 Rise as far as the mean stuff goes. I think, though, we are going to get a couple silly Evil Dead 2 moments, and I'm totally here for it. I love the mean stuff, but the pendulum has to swing back over. I'm totally okay with them doing some silly stuff at some point, and then they can come right back on over to the mean stuff. But that's just an inkling I have right now. Ryan is excited for Evil Dead content, man. We are getting so much lately. It is amazing. Yeah. I call him the Ron. The Ron. Ooh, Paula. So much fun. The Evil Dead is so much fun. Oh my gosh. I think you'll have a blast, Paula. If you like season 3 of Stranger Things and season 3, season 4, You know, Evil Dead's going to be a little meaner sometimes, but I think you're going to have a lot of fun with, you know, what Evil Dead throws at you if you like those Stranger Things seasons. Yeah, upgraded from Bubble Boy to Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Let's see what else we got here, guys. We're all caught up on news, so I guess I'll put that away. I'll put that away. There we go. That's what she said. I'll put that away. Oh, let's see here. What do we got? I just hope the Wrath isn't some big ending to the franchise. I don't think it'll be. No, I think they're going to keep on going. I just think Wrath is a good opportunity for them to bring everyone back. Like, bring in Ash and Mia and Beth and team them up with Alice or whoever makes it out of this one. Like, I think it would be cool if Wrath, you know, brought back Bruce one more time as Ash. Nancy Downs wants to know if I'd ever stream a game and if the game would be a survivor horror game. Is that what that's what you're asking, Nettie? I think. Right now I don't have a setup to do any game streaming, so I'm pushing my laptop to the limits as is. So I've definitely got to get a new setup before I could do something like that. I would really like to stream the Halloween game when it comes out in September. So we'll see. We'll see how all that goes. I'm not against it, Nettie. I would probably just start a separate channel if I wanted to do gaming because the algorithm is kind of picky. Davey Death Game. Aaron Click says, I'm not a huge fan of the later Evil Dead movies compared to the first three, but I like them. I look forward to the new one. I think this one is going to tie all the way back to the originals. If you watch I think I put a short out about it, Aaron. I mean, you may have already seen it, but I put a little short just talking about, you know, what I'm thinking about the Necronomicon and how it is going to tie all of the previous movies in. What if the Deadites, man, guys, StreamYard's having a tough time here. What if the Deadites are silly with silly people and serious with serious people? You mean once they possess somebody? I just think the Deadites are like they have their own personality, right? And the Deadites to me have always been mean, but they've always gone for that really nasty sense, like not nasty in a sexual, well, sometimes they do the nasty sexual humor, but just like whatever would hurt the other person the most to hear, the Deadite will say the thing that will hurt that person the most or put them in some sort of torment, you know, take over a loved one and then use an actual conflict that the person had with that loved one and throw it in their face while they're possessed as that person. We've seen that happen in multiple Evil Dead movies, right? Like going all the way back to the OGs. So that's how I feel, is just that the Deadites they have very similar personalities. You know, it's almost like the Deadites just like one demon that just infects a bunch of people because they're just so similar. They say similar stuff too. Evil Dead is going through a Scream lane. Original trilogy, fourth movie coming out in the 2010s, and now the modern trilogy or more. Yeah, it's kind of wild. It is kind of wild. Papa John says, Roth's Ice Cream Man is one of my most anticipated movies because I want to see a fun and cheesy full-length movie where kids go nuts on adults and hope my nieces and nephews don't follow suit. I'm really looking forward to Ice Cream Man as well for the very same reason. I love serious horror. Don't get me wrong. The Damian McCarthy's of the world and everything like that. Like, love all that stuff. Love Obsession, yada, 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 of course. But man, fun horror, tongue-in-cheek horror, something that just like really lets your brain unplug and just experience a wild ride. Yeah, I'm fucking all about that. And I think Eli Roth is really, really good at that. I think that's where he works best, is when he's having fun. When Eli Roth is just kicking back, being silly, I think that's when he's making his best stuff. That's when he hits me as an audience member the best. And that's what I want to see from him. So to find out he was doing this Ice Cream Man movie, it's not a remake of why can't I think of his name? Clint Howard movie. It's not a remake of that. It's its own thing. I think this is going to be pretty fun. I mean, I love Thanksgiving. I want Thanksgiving to really, 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 really bad. But I'll enjoy Ice Cream Man in between. Same here. I missed the boat with the Evil Dead franchise. I grew up a Michael, Jason, Ghostface kind of guy. Yeah, I mean, me too. I didn't watch Evil Dead until I was like 16 or 17, Jason. So that was 98. Somewhere around 1998 is when I first saw any of the Evil Dead movies. So I was late to the game as well. I mean, I was born a year after the first movie came out. So love Stranger Things. You know, season 4 is my favorite. Then you should watch Evil Dead. I think you'd get a kick out of it. I really think you would. Paula, the first Evil Dead movie is very serious. The second movie, they have some fun. It's a little funny. The third movie is hilarious. And then it gets very serious again. But they're so much fun. We got Sean G dropping a $5 Canadian. What's up, Sean? Hope you're doing well. How are your Canadians? I know they started out really hot tonight, but I wasn't able to keep track. So hopefully they did well. There you go. Thanks for hanging out with us on your other account there, Nettie. It's a daggum Jonathan. Holy cow, Jigsaw gifting 5 channel members. That's right, 5 channel memberships. Guys, I think that means that we officially have over 100 channel members. Let's see who those memberships went out to. We got Angel Diaz, 1976. Legally Shay. Ooh, that's a fun name. Domesticated Butt Cheeks. All right. That was my nickname in college, by the way, guys. Jesse the Body 64. All right. And Armin. Is it Armin Rahim? There you go. Armin Rahim 4535. Welcome to channel membership, everyone. I don't know if I've seen any of these folks in a live stream, but I guess what this means to me is these are folks that have watched some sort of traffic with the channel in the last little bit or so. Thank you so very much for gifting those memberships, Jiggy. I really appreciate it, man. That is an incredibly thoughtful gift. Yeah, guys, I mean, gifting those channel memberships is pretty awesome. It gives people a chance to like see, you know, a little something new from the channel with the members only content that we have here. And yeah, it grows that part of the community. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. And G, Sean, thank you so very much for the 5. YouTube is not counting the super chats for whatever reason. It's having some problems, but we have reached our goal, Sean. And thank you so much for throwing on top of the heap as well. So with Obsession and Hokum out, I'm on to the next hype movie, I guess. Backrooms. Backrooms is the next hype movie. I'm going to ask my buddy Cecil about it, see what he thinks about Backrooms here. We got Hollywood Lito in the chat. What's happening, Lito? Hope you're doing well, bud. Welcome on in. One of our great channel members there in Hollywood Lito. Tia says Critical Drinker has a gaming channel called Critical Gamer. Yeah, Davey Death Game. Something like that. Davey Game Ray. Gamey Deathray. That makes it sound like like my meat is gamey. Yeah, it tastes okay. It's a little gamey. It's a little gamey. Yeah, wouldn't recommend, you know, throwing them on the grill or anything. I mean, there's a reason why it resonates with so many people, right, Tia? Congrats there. Yeah, thank you so much, Carrie. You're too sweet. Enjoy the cookies and Kool-Aid. Yeah, enjoy the cult Kool-Aid. One of us. Gooble gobble, geeble gobble. Regarding Scream news, Hayden Panettiere did a recent interview while promoting her new book. Says she's ready and waiting to return to the franchise. Oh, I bet she is. Are they going to do a good job of writing her character, though, this time? Because Scream 6, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? We're about to get our 6th and 7th Evil Dead film. Imagine Evil Dead passing the movie count of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, it looks like it's going to happen. Which is crazy. It's wild to think. I mean, Ryan, I don't see any reason why they're going to stop making Evil Dead movies. They make money. As long as they make money, they're going to keep on making them. I even think, I said this a few weeks ago, I think with what Sam and Rob and Bruce are doing, they brought Lee Cronin in as a producer as well. So, they're the three, they're the big 3 executive guys, right? But they bring in Lee Cronin because they liked what he did with Evil Dead Rise. Maybe as they make these movies, if they develop a special relationship with that director, that they maybe want to bring him back, or they just this director gets it and they bring them in as producers, I think at some point there might be a changing of the guard, right? Like, what if, I don't know how old Sam and Rob and Bruce are, but 10 to 15 years, even if they're still around, right? What if it just turns into the thing where it's like now Lee Cronin and Sebastian Vanacek and Francis Galuppi, the guy that's doing Wrath, what if they become the guys that are like producing and bringing up more filmmakers? Like I can see it sort of a changing of the guard like that in the Evil Dead franchise. And if they do it the right way, the quality could stay consistent, But each film is its own thing. Got to approach it, with clarity and with driven purpose. And you can't just, make a bunch of Evil Dead movies just because they're hot at the time. It always has to be, I think one of the cool things about the way the Evil Dead franchises ran is the producers do take it seriously. As far as like, we're not going to rush this thing. I mean, originally Wrath was going to come out April of 2027. They pushed it back to 2028. So that shows that they're thinking like, we're really confident in Burn and we're going to let Burn breathe. We don't need to put out Burn and then 8 months later have another movie coming out. Like we need to put out Burn and then 8 months later drop the Steelbook for Burn and have people talking about it again and then start building up the hype for Wrath. Like to me, it says that they feel confident in Burn, that they're putting more time. They want that to just have its time, and then we'll start, hyping up Wrath. Probably, and I would imagine hyping up Wrath by spooky season of 2027 is when we're really going to start talking about it in a more meaningful way there. Yeah, something over I think now we're at 102, which is crazy for a channel that just passed 3,000 subscribers. It's incredible, guys, to have over 100 channel members. It's I feel truly blessed, as D'Angelo Jeremetrius Vickers would say. If anyone knows who D'Angelo Jeremetrius Vickers is, let me know in the chat. Davey saying domesticated butt cheeks is too funny. It was my nickname in college. Yeah. Everyone was like, yo, Dom Butt Cheeks, come over here. Mom, Davey's talking about his butt cheeks again. I know. Oh my God. Is my secret watcher watching? Are they going to clip that out and then send it to people and try to ruin me? Oh no, secret watcher. Ah, Canadians won tonight. All right, there we go. Good work, Canadians. Time to go get that cup, right? Go get Lord Stanley. Quit fucking around and just do it. I'd love a Gale and Kirby duo movie, plus the twins being involved. What if they just did a side movie? Gale and Kirby, they team up with Reverend Jackson P. Sayer from Halloween 4. Oh my God. Butt cheeks, now talking about meat. That one wasn't Tourette's. Yeah, well, I guess that would, I'd probably get in less trouble if I just said that I had that. Yeah. For some reason, Davey already knows what I'm thinking. I'm a little scared. Oh, what did I miss? What did I miss there that you were already thinking? Can't keep up with all the lines. Yeah, I got too many. My brain is like, I am Cornholio. I need TV for my mom. Are you threatening me? That's my brain all the time. Naughty, Nettie. Speaking of Stranger Things, if you love Stranger Things, then you will love The Burrows, brand new show by the Duffer Brothers, premiered today on Netflix. Already watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I am curious about that. I'll give one of the episodes a watch. Yeah. This is coming from a diehard Kirby fan. I want Hayden Panettiere to be in another Scream movie. I think she is so great. Her performance in Scream 6, something's going on. It's just not right. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the work that she's got done on her face to where she just can't emote the way that she used to. Something is off in her performance there. And radio silence doesn't help. Bringing in their writers to write these characters, they don't get these characters. If Hayden comes back as Kirby, I really got to have Kevin writing that movie. I got to be honest. It did. Justin, Black Phone 2 did have potential. It just completely fell on its face. I can't believe how bad that movie was. The first movie's so solid, like really good. It didn't need a sequel, but I agree with you. there was potential there, and they completely fumbled the fucking ball. It's like John Carver says at the end of Thanksgiving. It's like fumbling the ball on the 1 yard line, going out the back of the end zone, and then the other team gets the ball on the 20. That's how that rule works. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. We're going to let burn slow burn. Yeah, I mean, just let it breathe. To me, I don't know. Am I wrong, guys? To me, that seems like they're confident. To me, it's saying that they're more confident that Byrne's going to do well, that they put more time. Remember 28 years later, put out the first movie, and then 6 months later, Bone Temple came out? I think they knew that some of the audience wasn't really going to dig 28 years later. I know a lot of people did. I didn't. I thought the Bone Temple was great. But then here we are. We don't know if that third movie is going to happen. They really want that third movie to happen. But the Bone Temple completely failed at the box office. Completely failed. Like really bad. And it is such a good movie. So if you haven't seen the Bone Temple yet and anything is dissuading you, like don't let the box office dissuade you. I thought it was way better than 28 years later. I think it's the best movie in the franchise. And it's a little bit more of a think piece, but you still get plenty of action and plenty of gore and really uncomfortable stuff, but great performances and a story to me that was way more fascinating than anything they've done in the whole franchise leading up to it. So I feel like with Evil Dead Burn, yeah, we're just getting a longer runway to Wrath because there's going to be so much more love for Burn. It's going to have Evil Dead has legs, like it really does. And I think the producers are realizing that about Evil Dead is like, whoa, like 5 to 7 years ago, no one would have thought that Evil Dead would be like jockeying to I think it's going to overtake, at least with certain parts of the fandom, the horror fandom. I think with like older fans, and when I say older, I just mean people in their 40s and older. I think Evil Dead is going to kind of leapfrog Scream for a lot of people. Just, as far as like hype and enthusiasm goes, because I know that Scream's got such a great fandom. I think the fandom for Scream is always going to skew relatively young, and then I think even us old heads that are into Scream, we fell in love with it back when it first came out, and we've not enjoyed the newer stuff as much, although we still go back to it. But even those of us that really love Scream, I think a lot of us are very aware of like, yeah, it's sort of formulaic and it's consistent, but maybe a little too consistent. And I think Evil Dead for a lot of people is going to sort of step up and be like, hey, I've been awesome this whole time and I've been wild and crazy. I've given you so much fun. The fun isn't stopping. This franchise is not mired in controversy. It's not drugged down by any bullshit. It's just wild, crazy, demonic possession, and it's just so much damn fun. I could talk about Evil Dead for a little bit, guys. Not sure if you have figured that out. We got David jumping on in, one of our great channel members. How you doing, David? Watched The Wind from 1928. Holy cow. Okay, Sam Raimi's 66, so he's still like, I don't know what I would imagine his health is pretty all right, even if he wanted to retire by the time he's 80. Say he wants to retire, maybe just as executive producer, he still gets the check, but he's not making the decisions. I could see that they could hand off the franchise. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. You guys let me know. There we go. Brock Savage knows exactly what I'm talking about. Will Ferrell from The Office. D'Angelo, Jeremetrius, Vickers. I still need to see The Sacrament. Have I seen The Sacrament? It's a Ty West movie, right? I don't think I have. No, I haven't. Was Magic Michael in earlier? I think Raimai. I think that's who you're talking about. Raimai. That's what we call him. My good buddy Raimai. He has been just working his butt off lately, so I think he's at work right now. Let's see. What do we got? I dig Black Phone 2 more than the first, says Nathan Mills. Well, welcome on in, Nathan. Hope you're doing well. I'll give you my bullet points on why I don't like it as much. Not that you asked. I don't like that they changed the grabber's MO. The way he killed people at the camp is totally different than the way he killed people in the Denver area in the first movie. That usually doesn't happen. Like, serial killers don't really change their MO. They like settle into something, and that's what they do. I didn't like retconning the mother's death. I thought retconning the mother's death cheapens the first movie. And that is a sin that a sequel should never, ever commit. Don't ever do that in a sequel. Don't ever cheapen something from the movie before it. You don't want people to go back and watch that first movie and feel like something's a lie or something's, what it isn't anymore. And like, I really didn't like those two things. And then the big thing for me, really, the movie was so incredibly long. There were so many scenes that dragged on way past their time in the Black Phone 2. I think it's like 2 hours. I think Black Phone 2 felt like 10 to 15 minutes too long for me. That would have saved it quite a bit just right there. I blame more on Radio Silence's direction, the writers, than Hayden's performance, because I think she was amazing in Amber Alert. Yeah, she doesn't really feel like, other than Kirby having like a, factoid off with Mindy. Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. That is, again, kind of like fan fiction, the way that was written. Like them going down the line about like what movies are the best in the franchises. It's just the writers saying like, we get horror fans, like just a bunch of gawking at the camera, and I don't know. It's just gross. A $5, so that's a $5 super chat, or $4.99 or more. Paula is a teal super chat. But we have reached our goal. YouTube is just having a tough time. Being honest with you guys about that, but we have reached the goal. Yeah. I'm right back at you, David. I heard somewhere that the third 28 years later is happening. I think one of the actors was talking about it. Yeah, they well, I know that Danny Boyle and what's his face? Alex Garland. So Danny Boyle and Alex Garland are like, they are dead set. Like, this fucking thing is happening. I've heard it's gotten to the point where if like Danny has to just like, shell out whatever money to make it work, or whatever he's got to do, that they really want to do it. And I think that Boyle is supposed to come back to direct, but I think they should scrap that. I say bring Nia DaCosta back for the third movie. I liked her movie way more than I've liked any of his that I've seen. Any Danny Boyle movie. I think his movies are good, don't get me wrong, but I like The Bone Temple more than anything I've seen from him. Alpie Williams, aka Spike, recently posted on his IG training with a bow and arrow. All right, there we go. Very, very good. Yeah, like Aaron said, like, as per usual, don't take it as it's written in stone. Yeah, I usually wait for that official. I mean, my inkling is that the third movie was going to happen because they did the first two. I just knew it was like possible they could yank it, but I figured, it's Danny Boyle. He's a Best Picture winner. Like, they're going to let him have his trilogy. They might not ever make another 28 late or blank later movie after, but who knows? We'll see. Taking me on a walk. Look at Ridley Scott, been putting out a movie a year since he was 50. Is he really doing a movie a year? That's crazy. Yeah, not a fan. Davey, next time you do trivia, will it be random horror trivia or subject to a particular film or franchise? Maybe Evil Dead. Usually I do I'll do like 80s trivia or 70s or something like that. We could do Evil Dead trivia. We could do that. That could be fun. Maybe, Ryan, what I would probably do for that is I would wait closer to when the movie comes out. So the movie's coming out July 10th. So I'll probably see it on July 9th. Maybe I'll get to see it the week before at a press screening if I'm really, really lucky. So maybe we do like the weekend before Evil Dead Burn comes out, we do an Evil Dead trilogy just to kind of like get us pumped. We could even maybe do it on I don't want to schedule anything for late night that week because that might be the screening. Sometimes they do them so late that it's just the night before. I'm hoping usually when they feel good about the movies, they give you that week and a half. So hopefully I can see it the week before it comes out. But yeah, we'll do one of those Evil Dead trivias closer to the release of the movie. How about that? Hot dogs and mac and cheese for Nanette's dinner. All right. I've never seen the Magic Mike movies. Yeah. Never seen Evil Dead. Maybe a watch party before the trivia. I think we might do a marathon, Paula. So be careful what you wish for. Obsession. That's where I learned that. Yeah, we might do all 5 movies here. So it could get pretty nuts. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Let's see here. Willy's Wonderland thoughts. I can talk about that. Yeah. They'll probably make a 28 fucks later. Oh, you just broke me, Aaron. You just broke me. 28 fucks later. Yeah, porno parody. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'd buy that. Is Cillian Murphy going to be in that too? Dude, how big does the dick have to be in that movie after the giant schlong from 28 years later? Fuck. Like if you're in the porn parody called 28 fucks later, like you better be able to like throw that thing like a lasso, like throw it like, you know, way down the line. Like I'm talking like big old rubbery donger. Anyways, not trying to get canceled here. Secret Watcher probably got that one too. Willy's Wonderland thoughts. Really fun. Willy's Wonderland's really fun. Guys, Mandy was excruciating. Holy fuck, Mandy was excruciating. Maybe one of the worst movies I've ever seen. No joke. 1.5 star for me, Mandy. And then was like, oh, I need to give Nicolas Cage another shot. Because it's not his fault. He didn't make the movie. He didn't make the fucking most pretentious, boring ass movie ever called Mandy. So I could fucking go off on Mandy. Oh my God. It's like it's bubbling right now. I'm doing everything that I can to hold it back. Willy's Wonderland. I love the editing. I know I always talk about the weirdest shit, guys. The editing is so well done here. Really good rhythm. It works with the music so well. The score is like, gosh, I can't remember the person's name. It's like an artist that goes by one name. And it reminded me of like the John Carpenter, Daniel Davies, Cody Carpenter stuff, like the newer John Carpenter music. It reminded me of all of that. And so I was like, I mean, I fucking love that. If you're going to put me in a John Carpenter kind of vibe with your music, I'm not going to complain. And then the editing and some of the camera, I was like, I'm picking up some Sam Raimi with like the push-ins, you know, those zoom in push-ins. And yeah, and then even I would say the editing, sometimes the editing felt a little like a Raimi kind of movie, but really it was just very kinetic. The movie had a really nice energy and a really nice rhythm to it. 89 minutes, which is great. And it didn't feel too short at all. Obviously didn't feel too long. Nicolas Cage doesn't say one fucking word, but he is just like ripping these robots apart with his bare hands. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, I gave it 3 stars. Maybe it's a 3.5 star. I don't know. I might have to watch it again. But again, 3 stars for me is like, I'm not shitting on your movie. It's not a 60%. You know what I mean? Like 3 stars is like, you made a good movie. Like I can tell people that your movie's good. And for people that, you know, if you're a Nick Cage fan or maybe Five Nights at Freddy's just was a little bit too much of a kid's movie, Willy's Wonderland. There you go. There you go. If you like hot male strippers, you would like it, Nanette. There you go. Magic Mike, if you like hot male strippers. That's a pretty ringing endorsement right there, I would say, from Paula. Have you ever seen Matchstick Men? Yes, I love Matchstick Men. That might be the last good Ridley Scott movie for me. American Gangster is pretty good as well, but other than that, quantity over quality. Well, I really liked Prometheus quite a bit. It's not perfect or anything, but I liked it quite a bit. Matchstick Men is really fun. Yeah. Yeah, Sam Rockwell's great. I think Nick Cage is really good in that too. Yeah. I remember when that movie came out, I was working at a Blockbuster in Bozeman, Montana. I really enjoyed Matchstick Men. Yeah, you got to be able to wrap it around like a watch, right? Horsies be horsing. Mandy was a psychedelics wrapped in poop. Yeah, it is so up its own ass and so pretentious, and it's got nothing to say, unfortunately. If Mandy, maybe Mandy is trying to say something, I don't know. It was insufferable was the word that I came. Yeah. Willy's better than Freddy's? I'd say so, yeah. Yeah, Ryan says it's awesome, yeah. In the parody I mentioned, the bodily fluid that gets you infected is different. Hint, it ain't blood. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Based on the economy of scale, Bonnie Blue set the price levels very low on the cost of casting for that movie. Bonnie Blue set the price levels very, very low. Oh, Bonnie Blue. That's a character from Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played the games. I've only seen each movie once. So I'm like, I think Bonnie Blue is one of the characters in Five Nights. It's Randy Marsh portraying Lord. Oh my God. I love Lord, by the way, guys. I do. I like some of like them going after her in South Park. I'm like, whatever. It's like, it's pretty funny. But I think Lord's pretty special. As far as like pop stars go, I don't know many pop stars that are actually as interesting as Lord is. I'm really, mostly familiar with her first 3 records. Has she put out a 4th? Maybe she has. Fun fact, KG did a movie with Willem Dafoe called Dog Eat Dog, directed by Paul Schrader. I've not seen that one. The Banana Splits movie, not so great. That's the other one they did, right? I have not seen that one. I really like how you rate movies. Movie really has to work for that 5-star rating. Yeah, it does. Like, I don't hand out 5 stars. Like, 5 stars for me really, it's like we're talking Jaws, Citizen Kane, probably movies like Alien are getting pretty close. I am pretty, I don't throw out the 5ers quite a bit, but I think like for the most part, I'm like a 3 to, let's see here. Letterboxd, 3 stars is my most common rating. At 29% of the movies that I rate are 3 stars. So that's not bad to be 3 stars. However, 22% of my ratings are 4 stars. So, I used to get a lot of shit. Some of the old guard in Discord would be like, oh, Davey, another movie Davey doesn't like. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like most of the movies, so 9%, 2.5, 10%, 2 stars, 4% for 1.5, 3% for 1 star, and 1% for half star. So most of the movies I give favorable ratings to. I really do, guys. I really do. I am worried about watching that movie after watching Mandy. Bozeman, Montana. Ever read that article about how women have friends of convenience change with the moment? Men, they have friends, real friends. Bozeman, Montana friend. I lived there for just a little bit. It was a wild place to be. It was. Daniel Mooson. Hello from Ireland. What's happening, Daniel? Welcome on in, man. Welcome on in. Really quick, guys, we're going to wrap things up here within the next 10 minutes. But before, we're going to chill out for a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys, just in case you missed the announcement yesterday. Where is this? Okay, I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to do this. Oh, there we go. So, guys, I've been talking about an event out at Kevin Smith's theater in Red Bank, New Jersey for a little bit now on the channel, and I wasn't able to tell you guys everything about it because we were just waiting for everything to be set up here on the site and everything. So June 11th through the 15th, I'm flying out to New Jersey. The Horror Show channel and myself are co-hosting a fan film event. Cecil from the Horror Show channel set all of this up. I'm going there. I'm a team member over at the Horror Show channel. So I'm going as a team member of the channel, of course, but you're still going to get some Davey Deathray content while I'm out there. But I just wanted to show you guys the site here. And then, well, there you go. I accidentally closed out of it. What the hell, man? Let me see if I can bring it back up. Jiminy Christmas, Davey friggin' Deathray. What the hell is wrong with you, good sir? Tia, give me some shit in the chat. Give me some shit in the chat, Tia. I deserve it. I deserve it after that one. All right, so let me see here, guys. Well, I wanted to show you the actual, god damn it, okay, here we go. So how cool is this, guys? The main site for Smod Castle Cinemas. This is Kevin Smith's theater out there in New Jersey. So they have all the coming soons for, Revenge of the Smith. There's Mandalorian and Grogu, of course, Nate Bargatze's movie Breadwinner, all sorts of fun stuff. And then look at this. Fan Film the Movies. What is that? Guys, so June 13th at Smod Castle Cinemas, get ready for an all-day celebration of creativity, passion, and pure fan energy as you experience Fan Film the Movies, an epic marathon of 37 fan films from 37 different franchises in a row. From longtime favorites to brand new creations, this curated lineup runs from noon until about 10 p.m. So a pretty long day. But your $20 ticket gets you in for the whole day, and you don't have to stay. You can just watch the block that you want to watch, all that fun stuff. And the noon to 10 show is going to be showcasing the very best of what fan filmmaking has to offer when imagination meets dedication. Built by fans for fans, this is a one-of-a-kind event and a tribute to the stories we love and the communities that keep them alive, with themed blocks spanning from gaming, comics, horror, and nostalgia. There's something here for every kind of fan, so settle in, stay a while, and celebrate fandom the way it was meant to be seen on the big screen. So there you go, June 13th. If you visit this little site here, let me throw it over to you guys. There is the link for the actual to look at the page that I'm on right now. But I also want to drop, if you just want to go get tickets, you hit that thing, it says 12 p.m. or whatever, you hit that. But here's let's see here, if you want to purchase tickets, I'll just drop that there. So yeah, obviously guys, you know, this is going to be most attractive to folks that are in the New York, New Jersey area, you know. But there you go, you can get a general admission ticket. They don't have assigned seating there, so if you plan on showing up to the event, just show up as early as you'd like to get a good seat. And yeah, just $20 for a ticket for all day. It's a 10-hour event. So Cecil and I are going to be there. Vincent DeSanti from Womp Stomp Films is planning on being there as well. I'm not sure if any other filmmakers are planning on showing up, but you never know. So I just wanted to share that with you guys for the folks that are living out there, and just for you guys in general. Like, even if you can't make the event or whatever, I just want to let you know about it. And you know, I'm going to be out there, so I'm going to be doing exclusive content for some of the folks that have donated generously to helping me like fundraise for the event and everything like that. So some of you have sent some money over through like Venmo and stuff like that. So there's going to be exclusive content for those folks. And then on Friday, the 12th, I'm going to go to Manhattan and I'm going to bike around and I'm going to live stream. So we're going to check out some places and get some authentic New York eats. We're going to go to some of the sites. I'm just going to have a little mount on the bike and I'm going to live stream with you guys. We're going to talk to some New Yorkers, find out what kind of horror movies they like and all that kind of fun stuff. So should be a total blast, and I'm looking very, very much forward to it. So I wanted to share that with you guys there. Like I said, Cecil's been working on this thing. It's been a year in the making. So he's been busting his ass. So proud of him and everything he's done. It's incredible that the way that Cecil's able to have an idea and manifest that destiny. That's a talent in and of itself, outside of all the other things that you have to do to actually realize your dream or make something out of nothing. So very proud of my bud and can't wait to be there and you know, help out as much as I can to make sure it's a successful event. And if it goes well, we'll be back next year. So yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna chit chat with you guys here for a little bit before we say our goodbyes, but I had to let you all know about that. But how many people do we have in that area? I'm just curious, like if you were even considering going, put some sort of emoticon or emoji. They still call them emoticons. Put a hands up. Give me a little hands up if you're even thinking about showing up. Davey's movie rating is wild, says Ashley, but don't worry. Even the good, not greats, he'd watch again. Yeah, the 3 stars I would watch again if it were the right circumstance. So I wouldn't necessarily watch every 3-star movie again, Ashley, but if it's the right circumstance, I will. Good, not great. I love that now I'm getting shit for not hating every movie. You know, it really is a damned if you do, damned if you don't world, especially if you're dealing with the ladies. I'm just saying stuff, I will every now and then say something to get myself in trouble. That way, you know, Secret Watcher can have some good stuff. Just got off work. I'm hungry. Yeah, have a cigarette and get a little bite to eat there, Joe. Okay, we did hit the goal, Paula. We did, yes. YouTube is having a very tough time, though. YouTube doesn't want to play along with you guys. Oh, thank you so much. You've already got the announcement video up. Hell yeah. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate you. Yeah, we did a little live announcement yesterday, guys. Sinners got announced today as The Maze and is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2026. Are you going out to that, Antonis? I think you live like in the LA area, right? If I lived out there, I would go to that stuff all the time. But I ain't driving out just for it. I exited out of the screen. Did I? Oh, you mean, yeah. I told you to give me shit about it. Mom, hey, Mom, Davey's closed out the screen for this mod castle. And I don't know if I can go to the event now. Davey's phone definitely has the text size turned up to 3,000. What? You think I'm that old? You think I'm that old, Ron? Oh my gosh. No, I don't think it is. I don't even know if I have changed the text size on my phone. I don't know. Not sure. Because this isn't on my phone. This is on my laptop. I will not be doing Saturday night or a live this Saturday. I was like, is Paula asking me if I'm going to Saturday Night Live? I will be doing a live this Saturday. Yeah. When I'm in New Jersey, I won't, because Saturday will be the day of the event. So I'll probably do like a little quick live stream just to be like, oh my God, the event's about to start. The event's fucking going crazy. This is Davey with Kevin Smith. Yeah, right. Probably not. Yeah, right. But would be cool. What do we got here? We need a Blockbuster, one in every state. And Blockbuster should be rebuilt from the ground up. You know, I wouldn't be against it if the town could sustain it. I think a good old-fashioned video store would be great. Maybe mom and pop, though, you know. Thank you so much, Carrie. I didn't even know you were sharing this. You're so on the friggin' ball. Thank you so very much, Carrie. It's pretty rad, isn't it, Aaron? It's kind of crazy. Like, I'm sort of beside myself. Like, it's really cool to be a part of it, but I'm sort of beside myself just like, man, my friend set this whole thing up. Like, it is very, very cool. So I just feel fortunate, you know, to have earned a spot in the group, you know. I call myself the Golden Tomato because I care about the popcorn meter, and the most important thing is me respecting other people's takes. Healthy discussion matters. Just know I love everything, says Prince. Well, it's funny because, yeah, if you listen to Ashley, you would think that I felt the same way, that I'm exactly, that I just, everything's good, not great. No, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you care about the popcorn meter. I never vote or do any ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, I agree with you. Respecting other people's takes. Yeah. Healthy discussion. Yeah. I think we need to be able to, you know, if we can talk about the inconsequential in a nuanced, calm manner, maybe when it comes to talking about the important stuff, we could apply those same sort of code of ethics there. Shout out to the Death Squad mod. Fachi. Is Fachi in the house? And did I miss him? Did I miss Fachi? Fachi. Where's Mateo? Where's he at? Let's see what else we got. If it isn't Ron, it's Davey in the shower. Oh, what? Thank you. Thank you. East Coast folks. What up, East Coast folks? Got a lot of love for the East Coast. Just gave Bigfoot a big elbow from the top rope right after I gave his Wendigo friend the Stone Cold Stunner. Your Wendigo friend is Wendigoed out. Ron316 says, I just whooped your ass. Oh my God, shitter's full. You guys, the chat has just gone right off the rails. Lito, yes, I did. Last year I did one that was like, I think it was about a half hour, where I was like on the floor, and then I went in the hallway. I ran into Vin out in the hallway. It was super fun. Yeah, I'll probably do something like that for Mad Monster this year. And I'll probably do something, yeah, when I'm out east, you know, back east, I'll do same kind of thing. So, yeah. All right, guys, we are wrapping everything up here. Let's see here. What do we got? Just making sure I'm not missing anything super consequential. Yeah, Tia Nina is mom's favorite. Channel Mommy. Channel Mommy's got to get a shirt that says Channel Mommy. Davey, I can drive out with you to Hollywood Horror Night. I'm deathly afraid of haunted houses. Dude, I'm really bad at haunted houses too, Joe. I'm a fucking mess. I like the screen. I'll watch whatever on the screen. I don't want to walk through a haunted house and have people like trying to grab me. I'm not, that shit really freaks me out. Yeah. I have a tough time with that one. I don't know. Maybe we can do something fun like that here so we don't have to drive 12 hours round trip. Matt. His name's Matt. I just, my brother's name is Matt, but I call him Mateo sometimes too. I didn't grow up speaking Spanish because of family, but like I took Spanish in 8th grade, and then I took Spanish in high school, and I took Spanish in college. And when my family took a cruise to Mexico, or no, we didn't even do a cruise. I did a cruise with a family friend, but when we went to Puerto Vallarta, just as a family, we got like a condo and we were hanging out in like Old Town. It was amazing. Like I loved, like, I was like, I get to go and use Spanish. I'd actually use Spanish and like put my knowledge to the test and try to have conversations with people. It was super fun. So I've lost a lot of the Spanish stuff, but I love the language. I think it's in a lot of ways makes like if you had to learn English as a second language versus learning Spanish as a second language, I think learning English as a second language is probably a lot tougher because English takes from, it takes a lot from the Romance languages, of course, but then there's like Germanic roots and stuff like that. So English is like this hodgepodge, and so the rules are kind of hodgepodgey. And of course, in Spanish, there are exceptions to rules that they have in that language, but man, the exceptions, there are so few you actually have to remember, I think, in Spanish. Really, the toughest part about Spanish for me, as an English speaker, as somebody who speaks English as a first language, it's the conjugation of the verbs in Spanish that's the toughest part. In English, we don't have many different conjugations. Like I went, he went, they went, we go, or we went. Like went. And then even the hypothetical, like, well, I would do that if I could. Like we've got those, but man, in Spanish, there's like each tense. There's the conditional tense, there's the past, present, and future tense. They all have different conjugations. And in English, it's maybe half as burdensome, maybe only a quarter. But I love Spanish. I think it's, I love it. I love it. I'm not a fan of French. I'm just going to piss off all the Frenchies in the house, but I do love Spanish. I suck at haunted houses because and my instinct isn't even to fight, but it's just like, for me, that's not the exhilaration that I'm looking for. I'm 6'4", most of the actors are small. Dude, you're a big dude, Ryan. Holy shit, 6'4"? I wouldn't fuck with you either, man. I'd be like, oh, let me just go somewhere else. That's cool. I still get worried, I still don't like it. I went to the haunted house at Universal Studios, just like, it wasn't around Halloween time. I just went to the haunted house the last time I was there. And dude, when you go through the hallway of Chucky's, and some of them are statues and some of them are little people dressed up as Chucky, but they're all frozen. And then as you walk through, some of them start moving. I did not appreciate that. And I think Chucky is great, but that shit, that freaked me out. Yeah, I got Rapid Fire on my list to watch that one. Yeah. Cryptids ran away. Mothman tried to grab my junk before they left, so I smashed a beer can on his head and gave him a tombstone. Oh my gosh, I love it. Carrie, thank you so much. Yeah, guys, I am going to head out. I'm going to grab a little bite and then jump in on shooting. I'm going to do a all spoiler talk of Hokum with Cecil Laird from the Horror Show channel. We're also going to make a review or shoot a review of Passenger. So the Passenger review, hopefully they'll both be out within the next couple of days. I'll share those as they drop and everything like that, guys. But keep an eye out for that. And yeah, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Even if you really like the stream tonight and you want to help get the word out there about the channel, right after the stream ends, you can refresh the page and hit that hype button if you want to share the stream. So that is going to wrap it up here for me tonight, guys. I just want to go through the super chats here really quick. We did meet our goal. Jiggy dropped a $5. Tia Nino with a 5 as well. Jiggy with another 5, another, as well as Sean G dropping a $5. And guys, Jiggy gifted 5 channel memberships. We now officially have over 100 channel members here, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much, Jiggy. Shout out to all the Patreon members, YouTube channel members, all 102 of you. Shout out to the Death Squad mods, especially Joe from Media Poop Shoot and Carrie from Carrie Crave Cinema. They're our newest mods. So if you haven't congratulated them or, paid your fucking respects, right? I mean, come on, you better bow before them. Then now's a good time to do that. I mean, you don't really have to bow before them, but you could. I mean, if I were them, I would appreciate it if you guys bowed. So, but you don't have to. You don't have to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been an awesome time kicking it with y'all. And I will be back tomorrow. We're going to do 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow since it's Friday night. And we're going to figure out something fun for you. I might have something planned and I might not at all. I don't really know. I'm literally flying by the seat of my pants here, but I love you guys so very much that I just can't stay away. You know what I mean? You all are so beautiful. Thank you very, very much for hanging out. You're kneeling for Carrie and Joe, all right? Thank you guys so much again for kicking it with us. Love you guys, and all the support you give to the channel is absolutely incredible. Can't wait for our hang tomorrow, and in between now and then, you can catch me over on the Discord. Link is in the description below, and it's totally free to join. How about that? So that is going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you all so very much. You know how we wrap these up, don't you? Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take